Let's banish not enough time in the day for good, shall we? Sound too good to be true? Well, maybe it is. So let me let you in on a little secret. It's up to you to make that happen. Recently, I polled my community. There were two things that kept coming to the surface. One of them was not enough time in the day. The other one was, what daily actions do I want to take, or should I take, to have maximum impact? And now these two things are closely related, right? Now, I've been working with people on their time management for just about 15 years now. That's kind of a long time, I guess. And that's professionally. You know, I did it before that as a project manager as well. And so I think I know what I'm talking about, maybe just a little bit. Silly me, kind of a little cheeky there. What I kind of notice when people go through the process is that it's an art and a science, and it's tactics and it's strategy and it's mindset. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. And also it's time. It's time to manage your time. You have to try. There's a lot of trial and error and a lot of self-forgiveness that has to happen. So as much as I'd like to say, you know, you can watch this video for 5 minutes and have everything completely change, is highly unlikely. But you can watch this video for 5 minutes and grab a nugget and use that nugget. So here are my nuggets, okay? So I'm going to start with the top things that you probably are going to want to do to make the maximum impact, okay? So there are 3. One is to get organized at the beginning of every day. Take a short amount of time to get organized at the beginning of every day. And you want to write these things down. Now, I have proprietary forms. You can do it however you want. 1, you want to write down the top thing that no matter what, like come hell or high water, that gets done. And you put that down. The next item is the top 3 things, like the top 3 most important things. Maybe you block out, 90 minutes for each of these, that kind of thing. Now, not every day you'll be able to do those top 3 things, because every day varies. But if you can have a top 3 things, that's really great. What's the difference between the two? Well, one is a hell or high water, like you can't leave the building until that one thing is done. And then the top 3 are more like you want to make some progress. Okay? All right. Now, the third thing is counterintuitive. The third thing is leave white space. So there you go. The top thing, the top 3 things, and leave white space. Lots of times people really, especially super busy people, which are typically the people that come to me, they want to make a bigger impact and they want to get it all done and they want to do all the things. And they're overwhelmed. So since they can't do it all perfectly, lots of times they don't do anything. This is what happens. The white space is a common pitfall, a very common pitfall. They have no problem writing a lot of things down on their list. They're very good at writing things down on their list. But because they're so good at writing things down on their list, they tend to never do them all, right? Because they overfill their list. And because they overfill their list, they overwhelm themselves and they get themselves in this flurry of insanity. And because they're in the flurry of insanity, they tend to jump from thing to thing. And because they jump from thing to thing, they're multitasking. And then they are anywhere from 40 to 60% less effective and more likely to make mistakes, errors, skip things, drop the ball, etc. White space helps that. But what is white space? White space is when you don't have anything on the calendar. Now, does that mean you scroll Facebook? Hopefully not. Although it could if you're not careful. What we want to do in our white space, number one, breathe in and out for 60 seconds. Okay, just reset your mind like this. Mindfulness in the workplace is very good. It actually works wonders. You might get up and stretch for 3 minutes. You might get up and go outdoors and feel the sun on your face for 3 to 5 minutes. You might take a brisk walk. But the white space is more than a break. The white space allows the unknown to come in, because I will guarantee you the unknown will come in. And at that point, you have a couple of choices. You can say yes to the unknown or no to the unknown. But either way, you have control of your choice. You also have control of the emotions behind the choice. And the emotions behind the choice often will be, and I know you know this, but that doesn't help. So in summary, you're in charge of your day. You really are. Yes, there are only 24 hours in a day. This is absolutely true. However, you get to pick, by and large, what you do in that day. You get to say yes or no to meetings. Some of them you don't, I get it. But many of them you do. You get to say yes or no to clients. You get to say yes or no to your family. There's lots of shades of gray, and there's lots of competing priorities. I understand that. But it's time to close the video. So that is what I want you to know. You are in charge. You are in charge of the time in your day. If you're working, for example, on your coaching practice part-time, you're in charge of your day from 5 o'clock onwards, and you decide. You decide, what, if anything, can I do at lunchtime? You are in charge, okay? Nobody else is in charge. No guru that tells you you have to post on social media such and so many times, or you get to decide what to do. You get to decide the pace in which you do it. You get to decide, hey, I need time. It is a non-negotiable for me to stretch, to walk, to breathe. All those things on the health layer of the productivity success cake must happen to some degree. Because if they don't, you know what happens to a cake with no foundation, right? We will see you the next time. Bye-bye.